Hey guys, it's Maggie, JustEnufEyes. I wanted to do a video about something that I've been going through. This is something that I've struggled with my whole life, but I kind of want to tell my story in case other people are going through similar experiences, or just to share what I've been through. And I'm kind of halfway through the process now, so I wanted to talk about what I've gone through so far and how my experience has been, and then hopefully at the end of this journey I'll be able to talk about everything in completion. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. When I was born, I had, I think, all of my baby teeth, but I didn't have all my adult teeth backing them up. So when I lost my baby teeth, and I did have to get a few of them pulled out as well. I can't remember which area. Maybe they were pulling out the baby teeth that weren't falling out there. So essentially, since I've been like 12 or 13, I haven't had baby teeth. I was missing, I think, 3 teeth on this side, but we pulled forward the molars with braces when I was younger, probably around like 13, 14. They shortened the space there to accommodate 2 teeth, and even my wisdom teeth. We didn't pull out my wisdom teeth on the top because I have so much space and I need those teeth. So when I was about 14, maybe 13, I got my bottom wisdom teeth removed, and in that same surgery we took bone from the other side and moved it over to do a bone graft. So I think what happens is you don't have bone in that area because it's not supporting any teeth. The bone can recede over time. So the hope was to get implants back then, or to get a bone graft done so I could get implants. Unfortunately, it didn't go well. Like, they moved the bone, they also added bone graft, which is some sort of powder, but my body rejected it. Like, during that week, not only was I going through the wisdom teeth healing, but this area kept opening up, and I had to keep getting stitches, which I hate needles, I hate stitches, obviously. It was just like horrifying. And I was still living in my small town at the time, so I had to keep driving up to Toronto to get the surgery, like the stitches and everything, and it was a big loss. Like, I think it was probably $6,000 back then that we spent to do that surgery, and I just remember the pain. Like, it wasn't fun, and I just remember thinking the wisdom teeth were nothing compared to this whole thing that I went through. So for about the past 10 years, like, if you watch my older videos, it looks like I have full teeth. What my dentist decided to do was make a fake piece with 2 teeth with a bar on the inside, and we would just glue it to the back of my teeth beside it. And every time I would get like my teeth cleaned, about every 8 months to a year, we would just add more glue. And it worked. I think it fell out like once or twice, and I would just go back to her and she would glue it back in. But as time went on, my mouth was shifting. It just wasn't fitting right when she was gluing it. And this piece, like, we were like, maybe this will last a year. And this thing held out for 10 years. It was getting like stained over time. It just wasn't ideal, but I just didn't know how to proceed. The other problem is that my teeth are really small, which people are like, that's so cute. But like, that's a thing that it's like an insecurity. I don't like how small they are, but it's also, in the future, is it going to hinder me? Like, am I going to get pain? Are my teeth, I don't know. It's just, it's a fear. And so when I was thinking of other things, because I was terrified of going through implants because of my body rejecting it, and my body has rejected piercings as well, so I just thought I would never be able to do that. So we were looking into like crowns or bridges. I don't really understand all of that, but the whole problem is my teeth are so small beside it. They would be drilling down these teeth, and they're already so small. Like, what if they couldn't hold it? It could lead to a lot of problems in the future. And this whole thing was happening right as I was finishing my school last year, like the special effects makeup, which was a huge investment for myself, for my family. And I just cried, like, when I was trying to figure out, like, what are we going to do? This piece, the piece had also broken, like the metal had on one wasn't working. Like, it was just like very scary. And we decided we were just gonna go forward and get implants. And the other problem was that, looking at my bottom teeth now, because they didn't have counter pressure on them, the bottom teeth had moved up, which I never really had. I had braces 10 years ago. My teeth have always been pretty good though, and I've had the metal bar on the bottom, on the inside, but still these teeth had moved up. So I'm like, oh my gosh, here I am, like 27 years old, getting braces again, which I was like not too happy about, but I was like, at least it's the bottom. And I actually have really enjoyed like having them, other than like the excessive like cleaning and all of that. Like I think they're cute. It's like a little accessory. And I played around with like changing colors, and I did like rainbow during Pride, and it's been good. Like it's worked out. So I essentially started going to 3 specialists in Toronto, which is where I live now. Like 10 years ago I was in the small town I grew up in, but now I'm in Toronto, and we're like, okay, if we're gonna do this, we're going to go to incredible people. I want to be in the best hands, especially because it's a more complicated case, and yeah, so essentially I needed to go through a bone graft again. So I started with the orthodontist, and I'll tell you the names of everyone I've been seeing because they are incredible doctors, and if you are going through things, this might be helpful. So I started seeing Angelos Metaxas, which is the orthodontist. So he did my bottom braces, and I've had them on for probably 6 months now. And right away, like, it was easy, the braces. My teeth are already shifted down. We're just holding them in place now. And it was painful maybe 2 days. Like, and even that, I was like, give me more. I want to feel like some pain. And it's like, just because you don't feel it doesn't mean it's not working. And yeah, they already shifted. They're in a nice straight line now, which is great. The thing that's been annoying with the braces is that I keep biting down on them. Like, my top teeth are hitting the metal wires, so I have to keep getting, they call it blueberry, but it's like resin of some sort. Like when they fill a cavity, they put something and they use a light and it hardens. So they put that on my back teeth so I can't close fully. But I grind my teeth, and I don't know if I've always done this, but I know the past 5 years for sure I grind my teeth a lot. So every time I have to keep getting them refilled. Now I have a night guard for the past week. Like, it's so new, but I think it's going to be great at preventing further damage to my really small teeth. So once the braces started doing their job, we were like planning out getting my bone graft surgery, which I got, it must be 3 months now. So I went to Jonathan Adams, which is the Periodontist, I believe is what it's called. So he was my surgeon, and this really made me nervous because it's kind of a long story, but I booked off like a week from work where I could get my surgery, but like, and I wanted to get put down, like put asleep, because I was really nervous because they're essentially cutting open the gum, opening it, filling it up. I just want to think like stuffing it like a pillow, and then they close it and they sew it shut. So you get stitches. And especially my area, like, it was going to be a big bone graft. I'm missing 2 teeth, not 1. And yeah, I'm just nervous. Like, I'm scared of needles, and I don't like all of that. But he was amazing. Like, he answered all my questions. I did have the option to do laughing gas or pills. I don't remember which ones they were, but something you would take like on a flight if you're scared of flying, like something to just calm you down and get you ready to do the procedure. So I ended up going for that. The reason I couldn't get put to sleep, I would have to get like a full physical. They would have to send someone in to put me asleep, and like an anesthesiologist, I believe it's called. But that person wouldn't be there the first 3 days of my vacation week, so then I'd have to push back, like maybe I wouldn't be healed for work, and it was just this huge thing. And I was like, you know what, Maggie, you're just gonna have to deal with it. You're gonna have to go and get your surgery on like the first day of my vacation, right? So I could heal the full week, which I am so happy I did, because it really took a while to heal. My parents were great. They took me there and back, and I have to say, like, the needles were the worst part. I wasn't really prepared. Like, it was awful. I like listened to Friends. Like, I was just watching like Netflix, like listening to Netflix while it was happening, so I could try to like dissociate as best as I could. But the needles were awful. Like, I think there was 5 up front and then 5 behind the teeth, and it was excruciating. Like, it felt like it was going up to my eye and into my nose. Like, So I would say the needles were the worst part. But after the needles were done, like I went completely numb. I couldn't feel it. Like I could kind of, I don't know if I could sense or if I could hear, like I could tell like, okay, he's cutting into me now, and I could feel the pressure as they were shoving like the bone graft in. Like I could feel him pushing against like other teeth, and it was interesting. It wasn't painful. It was more just the fear of like what was happening. So I just really tried to stay calm, and I do have anxiety always, right? So it's just an extra level of fear there. But he was amazing. And even when I went in, he was like, do you have any questions? And I was like, no. Like I didn't want to know what they were gonna do. Like just do what you gotta do, and I'll figure it out after. Yeah, and he took photos. I didn't know he was taking photos while all that was happening, but like I went home, there was a big healing process as well. Later when I went for my 2-week checkup, I got to see photos of like me cut open and like how they stuffed it, and then when it was freshly sewn shut. So it did kind of look like a Saw movie. When I looked in my mouth 3 days later, I almost threw up by like how gory it was to me. But yeah, I went home, I had instructions on like how to cleanse my mouth with mouthwash. Like you can't push pressure, you can't use your cheeks to like push around air, so you have to kind of like move your head with the solution. Brushing my teeth was hard. Essentially my whole face got swollen, like up to here, the bone graft. Like I can still feel how high it was. I think the first time I got the surgery done, everything was sitting at the bottom, but this time it got shoved like right up. It was completely like stuffed all the way, which is really what I needed. And yeah, I mean, even my mom was gonna stay with me for like 2 days, but after like 6 hours, I was like, it's okay, like I feel fine. Like I was on pain meds, but it was like, I just want to sleep, and I really did. I just rested that whole week that I was off, and just like eating was okay because it's only on one side. I would kind of just eat soft food on this side and swallow and just try to avoid the area. It was very painful though. It really felt like I got punched in the face a few times, and I was definitely very swollen. After like 3-4 days, also the big problem was I couldn't really smile because there were stitches holding my lips down a little bit. So even when I went back to work, I was like, hi, welcome, but like I couldn't really like smile. And also the swelling was like avoiding, I was pushing pressure downwards. So it definitely was not a fun surgery. But they were amazing. Like he called me the next day and was like, how are you feeling? That was a big bone graft. And I was just thankful. Like it didn't open, it's healed great. I had my checkups after 2 weeks and after 6 weeks. Like everyone's so pleased with how everything healed. I would say the stitches were awful. Like I had the stitches in for 2 weeks, and they cut even between my teeth, and there was like black stitches, and I was like, I really don't want to smile or talk with like this going on in my mouth. Yeah, so it's pretty much healed now. I have to wait, it's about 6 months, and I have to get x-rays to make sure that everything's healed enough to do the implant surgery, which everyone is saying is going to be so much easier than the bone graft surgery, which I am thankful for, and I can see why. So they're going to be putting in the metal rods or whatever, screws, and then I think I have to wait about 6 months for that to heal before they can put the teeth on. And so I have a third doctor, Reynolds is the prosthodontist, so I've already seen him as well to kind of measure that my space is good and that they'll be able to fit 2 implants, 2 teeth. And that's why I got the retainer / night guard to hold my top teeth where they are. So that's where I'm at so far. It's been scary, it's been expensive, and my poor parents too, like right after me going to school. And it's so hard because all of this counts as like cosmetics. Like there's no benefits to cover it, because it's sad because I didn't get in a bar fight or knock my teeth out doing sports. Like I just was born with this defect, and it's tough. And even when I started this process, I was so insecure. Like when the fake teeth would fall out, like for one day, I was like, I need to rush back to that small town, go see my dentist, get this glued in. Like I was so insecure about it. But now it's like, you know what? I don't know teeth. I have space there, and that's just who I am. So yeah, it's been quite the journey already, which is why I wanted to share this video about what I've been through. I want to thank all of the doctors, you know, orthodontists, periodontists, everyone who has come together to help me, and ideally this will solve my no teeth problem for the rest of my life. Definitely a long haul, but thank you to everyone who's helping me. Thank you to my parents. Thank you for making this a possibility. And stay tuned, comment, like, and subscribe to see future videos of the progress of my teeth situation. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.